Denver Broncos, mile high view, no commercials, no bullshit. And right now, with the signing of Talking Heads lead singer Joe Flacco, you're going to need all the bullshit taken away that's been shoveled your way. Everybody is trying to justify this idiotic signing of Joe Flacco. And I'm going to get into that just real quick because it really covers an umbrella here. I went to Mile High Report. I wrote a write-up on this. And this is what I wrote. The stupidity of this signing cannot be overlooked. Nobody has even asked the most important question, and that is, why was Beemore in such a rush to bench Flacco to begin with? Only to install a huge question mark in Lamar Jackson. And how all of this impacts the Broncos, and how does all of that impact the Broncos? That's the $64 million question no one in Broncos country seems to want to ask themselves. For me, how the Broncos handled both Keenum and now Flacco signings shows the organization is utterly clueless in regards to what they are running versus the quarterback they sign. Elway leaned on Kubiak, who was not involved in an offensive scheme process with the signing of Keenum. Keenum was forced to reinvent himself in a Musgrave pocket quarterback system until the coaching staff, VJ and Musgrave, learned their error of their ways 3 quarters into the season and made the system more suited for Keenum in play action. So why did Flacco get benched and Beemore? Kind of important here. Elway supposedly fired Musgrave, who ran more of a pocket QB system, in order to hire Scangarello, who supposedly wishes to run more of a Shanahan play action system that is more akin to the system Flacco was benched out of. Flacco is still known as a high completion deep ball passer, and Flacco worked in Baltimore's play action scheme when Flacco was more mobile than he is today. Thus, Beemore benched the statue. Deep ball plays are a very small percentage of any team's playbook today because of the time needed for the play to develop versus the tax on the offensive line. Flacco is equally known not to be a very good short to mid-range tight window QB. So at the end of the day, the Broncos are flushing, in my opinion anyway, $18 million down the drain to bring in a quarterback that wasn't working out in the very type of system they now wish to run. To demonstrate how monumentally stupid this signing is, the Broncos are getting rid of the very quarterback they already paid, who better fits the current system, and money that could have been spent to fill in so many other holes is now gone. Scangarello is now going to be forced to put together a system more suited to a Musgrave system to accommodate an immobile QB. More deep ball plays is going to mean that the O-line will have to be above average minimum, unless you are delusional, is a major step from the current O-line situation. The obvious prediction is that $18 million will end up on the IR at some time this season. The bottom line is, for me, I don't see how a team that can't get the veteran quarterback position right is ever going to be able to get the rookie quarterback position until the current management is removed. And here's the geniuses chimed in, and they highlighted my question. Why was Beemore in such a rush to bench Flacco to begin with, only to install a huge question mark in Lamar Jackson? And their answer to my question was based on that playoff game against the Chargers. It's because they are imbeciles. My reply to that is that what's funny about your comment is that the Beemore imbecile in question is the very head coach most people here at the Mile High Report and Sports Talk Radio were clamoring Elway to hire. Now, here's this other one. Well, whenever you draft a quarterback in the first round, you're just, you have to, it's insurmountable. You have to play them. Oh, really? You think when they drafted Garoppolo? Do you think that, they were forced to play him? And do you really think if Flacco still had the it factor, do you really think they'd be even going after Lamar Jackson? I mean, honestly? So, obviously, you have Flacco who, and anybody in Baltimore will tell you, that Flacco is injury prone. He's older. He's not the same quarterback he used to be. And, quite frankly, the Steelers probably should have, 2-3 years ago had got a quarterback to replace Ben Roethlisberger. But this is even a huge step down from injury-prone Roethlisberger. So, and the fact that the offensive line it's still the worst offensive line, one of the worst out there. I'm just hearing people try to justify this. It makes no sense. You have a much more mobile Case Keenum, who would better run this Scangarello system if you're going to go with the veteran quarterback. So it just makes absolutely no sense at all why you would get, you're giving up a fourth round. Okay, that's not a big deal. It's the $18 million. That's the thing that's really, and because I keep hearing the justifications. Well, you're gonna pay all this money. It's gonna be big. You're gonna get all these people. Well, who's gonna want to be here to play for aging, ailing Flacco? Who and then where's all this money coming from? We just wasted $18 million. $18 million that could have went somewhere else. I just don't understand it. Other than it's just the same old crap as before. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Mr. Talking Heads lead singer Joe Flacco.